video tutorial. But before you do anything, I need you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button right now. Also hit the little notification bell button because you do not want to miss what is coming out of Neilville. And guys, so today I decided that I had wanted a vegetable soup on today, but at the last minute I did decide that I was going to put some beef tips in there. And so we end up making a tomato-based vegetable stew, and I call this, it was supposed to be my pantry vegetable soup because I was just using things that was in my pantry, not going out and buying anything else, because my husband was kind of on a vegetable kick for a minute. And so we had a lot of mixed vegetables that I wanted to use. And so basically for our ingredients, I have red potatoes, I have 4 cans of mixed vegetables, I have 2 cans of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato paste, 2 onions, and my beef. And so what I wanted to tell you that I'm doing different is I'm not just throwing my meat inside of a pan to let it boil. I'm not searing it. I'm actually going to put this meat in the oven to roast first because I think it gives a greater depth of flavor. And so after we washed our meat, I put in about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm also using about a tablespoon of roasted garlic and herb, and this is like 5.5 pounds of that beef tip. And I'm also using some onion powder, and you can be liberal as you want because it doesn't have salt in it. And I'm going to be using some Saison complete seasoning because this has a lot of herbs in it as well. And then we're going to also be using some low sodium Dale seasoning, and we're using about 2 tablespoons of that, and it is low sodium. Pretty much everything in here is low sodium except the seasoning, that first seasoning that I use, well, not the first, but the roasted garlic and herb. Now that is not low sodium. That does have salt in it, regular salt, but I did want to add a little bit more salt, and I did add some Lawry seasoning. Not a lot, guys. It was just like a teaspoon of that Lawry seasoning for all that meat. And so now we're just mixing it up really, really well. You want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 400, and after I mix this, I let this set for about an hour, and then I put aluminum foil over it, and I let this roast in the oven for like an hour and a half because I wanted to one, I was busy and I didn't have time to coat it and sear it up. Honey, put your seasonings on it and throw it in the oven, baby, and do what you need to do, okay? And so once I got it mixed up really well, like I said, I put my oven on 400 degrees. We put aluminum foil over this, and we let this roast in the oven for an hour and a half because I wanted it almost completely done when I got ready to add the veggies. And this is when it comes out of the oven. As you see, you know, we didn't put no juice. We just let it roast and let it cook in its own fat, that beef cook in its own fat. And you see all of that juice, that, guys, that is nothing but flavor. This is going to give a deeper depth of flavor to your vegetable soup or your beef stew that you're cooking. And so now what we're doing, we're transferring all of this meat and the juices, the flavor, all of that into a big, huge pot because, of course, we got to add our veggies. But the first thing I did, I went ahead and cut up those 2 onions. Those onions were small, so that's why I used 2 onions. Normally, I'll use 1 large one. And what I did, I actually let this cook. I did add a tablespoon of black garlic. And I also added a tablespoon, something I forgot to show you all in the beginning, was the roasted beef better than bouillon season. I added a tablespoon of that. Y'all, when I tell you, it takes your stews to the next level. It's the best thing since sliced bread, I promise you. And so what I did, I mixed that around. I let this cook with just those onions, that bouillon seasoning, and that garlic for 30 minutes because that was going to finish up that beef and tenderize it so I can go ahead and add the vegetables, because these are canned vegetables, guys, and you don't want these canned vegetables cooking so long because they will disintegrate and you won't have no vegetables. So now, as you see, I cut up about 6 of my red potatoes. I use 4 of those vegetable melodies that I had. They also had potatoes in it, but I like potatoes, honey. It's my kitchen. I do what I want, okay? And I did end up adding 3 of the diced tomatoes, and they were also seasoned as well. I think they had like celery and bell pepper and onions in it as well. So now this is a 12-ounce can of tomato paste. If you're not cooking a big pot like this, do not use 12 ounces, guys. Use like half of an 8-ounce. If you're doing, something smaller than this, because I'm using such a big pot, I did use that whole 12 ounces. And this is going to give it that rich red flavor. This is that taste that we want for our vegetable soup. But because we added beef and the beef bouillon, when I tell you guys that this stew was next level, just excellent, it was off the chain. And so now we've added all of our veggies in. We're going to let this cook on like a medium-high heat now because the meat is already done. We just need to get those potatoes done and the veggies warmed up. You don't want to cook those canned veggies too long. Like I said, they'll disintegrate. So this is pretty much what it looks like after it's been simmering. Honey, that pot is angry. Do you hear me? But let me show you what this look like. Let's get this stirred around so you can see. Y'all, this soup was fire. Wow. Y'all wasn't looking. I made me some cornbread, baby. We about to tear it up. Do you hear me? Try this recipe. I will put the ingredients in the comments. Let me know if you like it. Let me know what you do. I love suggestions. I love trying what other people do as well. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. And remember, baby, it's your kitchen. Do what you want.